kids, you are now forced to sit in that aloneness. And men since childhood have never faced their aloneness and have never faced their pain and have never faced their trauma. And so because they'll now be forced to do it with nobody being their companion and either helping them through it or serving as a distraction, that scares the fuck out of them. And to add to that, I also think this is the reason why a lot of men want children. I mean, I have a whole different take on this, and that's for a different day because I'd be here forever. But I think a lot of men want children because once you've got the girl and once you've got the kids, if your girl ever decides that she's not okay with the treatment you're giving her, because men somehow think that they're entitled to unconditional love, and they don't realize that your girl can unconditionally love you and still leave you.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I mean, there's like how much Botox do we have? We have no facial expressions. And I don't know, the dead eyes of a shark?
That's not what the unconditional love is. That's, you want a girl to unconditionally stay for your BS. But because a woman might...
Oh, I'm sorry. Are they the only ones that do things that are annoying or whatever? Because women don't have any of that. Yeah, you stay through the BS. That's right, you do. You stay through people's good times. Do you know what for better or for worse means, lady? I mean, how strong are we? How strong are we women if we can't ride out some storms and forgive and have grace for people? We've been told that that's taking men's BS and that we don't know our self-worth when we do that. But it's a complete lie through propaganda, movies, even your counselor will tell you that stuff. But you ask people who the happiest people are. It's the people that have made that commitment, stayed true to that commitment, have ridden out the storms, because there are people who have done that. It is rare. But this lady is just saying things that she wants to be true.
Might one day turn around and go, this behavior isn't good enough, I'm not happy, and instigate a divorce. Well, at least if I've got the kids, I've got somebody there to look after me and love me unconditionally. And I've been having this conversation a lot recently where I say, children do not love you unconditionally. They are dependent on you because you are literally their means of survival. Once that child gets to the age of 15, 16, sometimes even younger, and realizes you're a piece of shit, they will not unconditionally love you anymore. Once a lot of children grow up and realize who you are as a person, that unconditional love goes out the window. If anything, the wife that stays by your side through thick and thin, as long as you're not a total piece of shit and it's actually reasonable things to stay with somebody through, that's unconditional love. That's unconditional love. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents worth. I actually have a lot more sense to give on this because I have a lot of opinions and I spend a lot of time observing and talking to men in so many different ways where so many of them tell on themselves without realizing they're telling on themselves. And I will ask them key questions, whether that be through my job, coaching, or through...
Oh my God, her job is coaching. And she said that they tell on themselves without realizing they're telling on themselves. Do you see why I had to make sure you guys saw this video? Imagine having this little self-awareness. Like, lady, that is exactly what you've been doing this whole entire time.
Just everyday life things, work that I used to do, working in all different backgrounds, being on the train, having a conversation with a guy that's married but wants me to not realize he's married because he just took his ring off 5 seconds before talking to me. Loads of different backgrounds where I talk to men. I will ask them specific questions where I know they're going to tell me something they don't realize they're telling me, and they tell themselves all the time. And so for me, a lot of these men that are married and unhappy and they're cheating, or a lot of these men that are angry that women are making the choice to choose to live without them, a lot of it's because they're scared of being left behind, because we actually do better at being by ourselves than they do.
You do better at being by yourself than they do. That's not true. And we're going to have a part 2 to this. I'm so excited. We're going to also have a part 2 because it's long, but it is necessary. So hold that thought, lady. We're going to continue with all of these copes about how, oh, it's totally fine if we're alone at the end. Yet you're seeking a relation. Like, No, it's not true. And I know you guys, nobody wants to be alone, but even Paul said it is better for a man to be alone. You know what I mean? But I don't think the same is true for women. And if we don't start making better decisions, and some of us, it is kind of too late because we have masculinized ourselves through trying to compete with men, and we have had too many relationships, and we've been a 304, right? And that does ruin your ability to pair bond and to have a true and solid relationship with the person you're going to commit your entire life to. Like, you become less able to do that. But if women don't start making better choices as a whole, this whole thing falls apart. And I don't see it turning around anytime soon. The progress is too minimal, too slowly. And the pressure and the propaganda is huge because the state does not want a nuclear family. But I'm going to keep hoping for some kind of sight of it turning around. And even if it's not going to turn around as a whole, I want to at least wake as many men up as I can so they don't walk right off the cliff. And try to speak truth, and whatever women can open up their ears and hear it, the better for society.